For a dog, you want him to be fun to spend time around. But does that have to mean training him? And does training have to take hours? And what methods should you use? Well, John Fitzpatrick from Cosford Dog Training has the answers.
We start from the really basic level. We start from taking puppies from the age of 12 to 14 weeks, once they've had the first set of inoculations, and we take them right through the Kennel Club awards up to the gold standards. We also do continuation training for specialist dogs, and we train sports dogs mainly towards the sport of working trials. On top of that, I also do behaviour modification for dogs that have problem behaviours.
Wow, so that's a really wide spectrum there of training. Excellent. Okay, so I'm guessing most people listening probably won't have done that much training before with their dog, although if they have, obviously there's scope for them with you. But for those people who haven't done much training yet, first of all, why should they train their dog?
Well, to give the dog a better life. I mean, if you see how many dogs there are in rescue centres, I think most of those dogs would have had a perfectly happy home life had the owners invested a bit of time in training them in the basics of obedience and the basics of life skills.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, the thing is to give the dog a happy family life. That's the main reason.
Yeah. I think that's an interesting way of looking at it, because we normally look at training as, I need my dog to do X, Y, Z, I need to train him. But to look at it from the dog's point of view, I think is brilliant that they get something out of it, because, again, many of us look at our dogs curled up on the sofa and think, oh, that's the way they want to live, they just want to lie there on the sofa. Is that true, John?
Well, I think if you look at most breeds of dogs that people have as pets, you look at your spaniels, not really a couch potato dog. You look at your Labradoodle derivatives, bred from a Labrador and a Poodle, both working dogs. The vast majority of dogs actually come from working backgrounds, so it's only over the last so many decades that we've actually turned them into couch potatoes rather than giving them the roles that they were bred for. Now, I'm not saying everyone actually has a Labrador needs to go out and train it to be a working gun dog, but certainly getting it to chase a dummy in the park or retrieve a tennis ball for you actually gets the dog back to what it was bred for and gives your dog a happier life. So, yeah, I think we should try and give our dogs something to occupy the mind, because the devil makes work for idle pulls, let me tell you that much.
Yep, absolutely. That is a great way of putting it. And then we get cross with them and go, why did you do that? And well, it wasn't the dog's fault. Yeah. I mean, and having done a little...
Because it's bored.
Yes, yeah. Having done a little bit of training with my dog, I'm not at your level, obviously, but, I've taught him some things. When I get the things out that I'm going to work with training with him, the clicker and the alley-oop and, all that kind of paraphernalia, his tail just goes into overdrive, because he's like, yeah, we're going to do some exciting stuff here. But having said that, I've been very careful with the way I've trained him, and I've looked on your website. You're very careful in the methods, the training methods you use. Why is that important, John? Why do we need to use these positive methods?
Okay, talking about positive methods, I think anybody, whether it was an animal or a human, if they had the choice to learn by two ways, one would be somewhere where they were given the opportunity to learn at their own pace and they were rewarded for getting it right rather than being punished for getting it wrong. I think whether you're a dog or a human, you would prefer to learn by that method.
Yeah.
And the other thing, when you train a dog, I train dogs, as well as I train pets, I also train dogs for extremely high level work. Now, I expect my dogs to make mistakes, because I expect my dogs to do a little bit of thinking for themselves. And if you use harsh methods and the dog thinks every time it's going to get something wrong, it's going to be punished for it, it just stifles your dog's ability to think and work. So I just don't think it's a very productive way of training dogs. I think, one, the dog enjoys it far more. And if the dog enjoys something to it, it will put more into it. So you said before, when I get my clicker out, when I get my treat bag out, my dog is happy and it wants to work. Well, surely that puts you on a real head start with your dog over a dog that drags itself out thinking, oh, no, not again.
Yeah.
If your dog's happy, it's going to work better.
Absolutely. And I mean, we have dogs in the first place because we like them, because we love them. We want to spend time with them. We obviously feel the need to get some feedback from them. So we want that good feedback. We don't really want them to be this frightened, cowering thing in the corner. That obviously, yes, isn't much problem in cowering in the corner, but it's not happy. It's not going to make us happy. We're not getting that partnership with them, are we?
if I had a dog that was cowering in the corner, I would take myself out and give myself a slap across the head to find out why it was doing that.
Yeah.
Because I would believe that it would probably 90% down to me or the environment I put that dog in. And, you want the dog to be happy. You want the dog to learn. It should be a partnership between you and your dog. I mean, I think most people treat the dogs as part of the family. I mean, I don't mean dressing them up in pyjamas and that nonsense. No. But you want your dog to be part of the family. And the reason that we train dogs, my opinion is to give them as full a life as possible. The more you train your dog, far from stifling it and far from bringing it under tight control, actually it gives you the opportunity to give your dog the maximum amount of freedom. Yeah. Because if you put that training in, the freedom is there for you to give to the dog, and then those times when you bring the dog under tight control, the dog will respond to it. An untrained dog is completely lacking in freedom. It never gets to enjoy its life.
John, you are absolutely speaking my language. I'm loving this. This is great. Now, the other thing we need to address then is if people want this well-trained dog who is a nice person to spend time around, and yes, I've just called a dog a person, I don't care, in the best way, not, as you say, not in the silly dressing up in pyjamas way, in the best way. Is that going to take a lot of time?
No, it takes careful thought, a bit of planning, and setting a little bit of time aside each day to train your dog. I mean, if I train my dogs, I wrote a book on puppy training, and the method I recommend is 3 short training sessions a day, 3 to 5 minutes. Anything longer than that, a young dog isn't going to cope with. And even my dogs, my dogs are working at a sort of national level. I very, very rarely train one of my dogs for more than 5 minutes. And you can vary it. You can do it in the house, you can do it in the garden, you can do it when you go to the park. You build it into your dog's daily routine. But, the one thing that I think really works against training dogs is training them for a massive amount of time, because a dog's got a limited capacity to concentrate.
I have.
I didn't want to say that, but there you go.
Oh, you're a gentleman. You're a true
But it's
gentleman.
true, isn't it? And especially when the point you make, was a funny point, but it's absolutely true. If you think about any new skill that you're learning, how hard you have to concentrate on it, and if you think back to when you were learning to drive, that after a 30-minute driving lesson, you felt like you'd been put through a ringer because you were concentrating so hard. So when I bring someone in to train them how to train their dog, because I don't train their dogs, they train their dogs, I show them how to do it. But it's a real hard thing for them to learn. They're learning a new skill. So the point you make is absolutely true. You've got a limited amount of time. And rest and relaxation is a massive part of training. You can't overtrain dogs. It's about small bits of training, lots of relaxation, and allow the dog to learn the lesson. Let the dog take the lesson in.
You can find out more about John at cosforddogtraining.co.uk. But a bit of a warning, once you start training and getting that buzz of working as part of a team together with your dog, you might not want to stop.
Absolutely, the leader of the pack there, Julie Hill. Thank you for your chat with John Fitzpatrick. You can find out more at dogcastradio.com. Nip along, have a listen, and find out everything to do with the world of dogs.